to today's episode of our first inaugural Chai Time Quickie with your host, Meherwan Irani. Today, behind the helm, we have not at Chai Paneer Mom Molly Irani, but the other Chai Paneer Mom, Molly Milroy.
Hi, guys.
Welcome to the show. Molly Irani is on the road with Arya visiting her mom. So how do you know it's a Chai Time Quickie? Well, I'm not wearing my apron. I've still got my Chai Paneer hoodie on, sweatshirt on. Dueling Tigers, and I think we'll keep that theme going. And the other reason this is a Chai Time Quickie is I don't have my cup of chai ready yet. But have no fear, I've got to go to the side off camera. But today what we're going to do is make something that most Americans are familiar with as a traditional Indian ingredient in some of their favorite dishes, paneer. And if you've had paneer before, you know what it is. It's lovely, it's delicious, it's fresh, and it is the sort of foil in many of our dishes. Butter paneer, shahi paneer, paneer de piazza, and probably the most famous saag paneer. So I'm going to show you guys how to make paneer at home in today's Chai Time Quickie. This is super simple, super quick. We actually only have two ingredients, milk and vinegar. So, milk. Get yourself some whole fat, rich milk. You don't want any low fat milk. You don't want anything that's been overly pasteurized or vitamin D. This is a nice local brand. It's from North Carolina. If you can find milk at a farmer's market, get that, because chances are it's A, not homogenized, B, minimally pasteurized, and C, just really high fat content. But have no fear if you can't find yourself a really sort of high fat content milk, and you can tell by tasting it that the milk is just nice and creamy. Heavy cream will do the trick too. So you can always add a little extra heavy cream to making a paneer. So what I've got going here so far is about a gallon of milk, just shy of a gallon of milk in a pot. And this recipe actually works for a gallon. But if you're a little bit shy or a little bit over, don't worry about it. And this milk was already pretty high in fat, but you know, we want that rich, creamy paneer, that delicious, soft, just luscious paneer. We're gonna add some heavy cream to this. And I've been bringing this thing to a boil. And we're talking about just adding a dash of cream. Heavy cream is heavy cream, so you don't need to put too much of it in there. And if you're worried about the, it's really calorie dense and rich, well then don't eat cheese. That's just not gonna help. If you're gonna make cheese, make sure it's good cheese. You don't want any of the you don't want light cheese. And please, no questions about whether this can be made with tofu or paneer tempeh. You're basically making milk tofu to a certain degree, right? Because it's got a texture of tofu. All right, so I put this in a pot. I put the flame on high because I want to bring this to a boil. And then what I do is constantly stir and aerate, scraping the bottom. Why am I stirring and doing this? Well, one, I'm sort of aerating the milk a little bit to get it nice and frothy. And number two, I'm making sure the milk doesn't stick to the bottom and scorch. So this really is important, because you want to get it to boil, and the only way to get a gallon of milk to boil is to put it on high, otherwise it'll take forever. And just make sure you're stirring constantly and doing what I'm doing over here. Yeah, it's 10 minutes of stirring, but that's all you're doing, folks. Literally, that's all you're doing right now to make paneer. And by not letting the milk scorch or burn or stick to the bottom, you'll have just excellent paneer. Burnt milk won't be good. You'll get that taste in the paneer if it having been scorched.
Vish is astounded that you mentioned vinegar.
Why?
He said vinegar never.
Oh, please, please, please. I'm showing people how to do this easy at home. You can do it with yogurt, you can do it with lemon juice, you can do it with lime juice. In fact, any kind of acid. Quite often commercial paneer wallas just use citric acid to make paneer. I'm trying to do this easy peasy. I figured most people already have vinegar at home, and it still turns out delicious. So I would put my vinegar paneer, Vish, against your paneer anytime. Actually, I should take it back. Vish's paneer is probably pretty amazing. But we're trying to make this easy for people at home. I assume everybody's got some milk, everybody's got some vinegar.
I don't know if he's a real Southerner if he doesn't believe in vinegar.
Exactly. Just also, Vish, I'm just showing the versatility of a beloved Southern ingredient, vinegar, not just for pickling, but also not just in my collards, but also in making paneer. All right, so since I already had this thing going before the camera hit, you can see it's already come to a boil, and it's frothy at the top, and I'm working the knob over here. If at any second it feels like the milk's about to boil over, turn it down. Definitely helps if you're doing this on a gas flame. Really hard if you're doing this on an electric range because it'd be hard to turn the heat down that quickly. I would recommend if you're doing this on an electric range that be ready to slide the milk off any second if it looks like it's going to boil. Because just turning the heat down won't work. It takes a while for the heat to come down on an electric or infrared range. All right, guys, almost done. Like I promised you, this is going to be a chai paneer quickie.
Does the type of pot matter?
Yeah, heavy bottom pot so that so that the milk doesn't scorch as easily. One trick that my mom told me, that works with boiling milk is to wet the bottom of the pot. Just splash a little water, rinse it, and pour it out. And supposedly the water on the bottom helps. I haven't been able to definitively prove whether it actually works or whether it's just one of those kitchen myths that we all love so much. Okay, vinegar. Vish, not just any vinegar, organic vinegar. And of course you want to use white vinegar, not balsamic vinegar, not palm vinegar, not rice wine vinegar. Not to say that rice wine vinegar wouldn't do the trick, any kind of acid would do the trick, but we're trying to keep a clean taste here. I don't want that sweetness from the rice wine vinegar necessarily in the paneer. And honestly, I've never tried it with anything other than yogurt or distilled white vinegar. So for a gallon of milk, a 1/4 cup of white vinegar. So, 1/4 cup, and I'm going to bring this back to a boil because I turned it down for a second while I was, having learned from my mistakes. I always turn the heat down before I leave boiling milk to go do something else. And now that it's rolling and boiling and boiling and rolling, we're going to add the vinegar. And now stir. Stir, stir.
There's actually no yogurt. Someone asked how much yogurt.
No yogurt. That was exactly it. I'm doing this without yogurt. And look, immediately, Molly, if you can zoom in, you can see the curds are starting to form. All you've done is curdled the milk. And that really is what paneer is. And look how quickly that happens. And the curds are separating from the whey. If you guys remember your little Miss Muffet sitting on a tuffet nursery rhyme about the curds and the whey, well, now you know what curds and whey are. Right? So now I'm going to turn the heat off completely and keep stirring just to make sure that all of the curds have separated. And folks, we are pretty much done. All we have to do now is strain, form, and cool. Okay, there it is. Voila, see how easy that was? And really the trick one last thing. I like salting my paneer a little bit. You don't have to, but I just like a little bit of salt in the paneer. So at this stage, I'm going to salt it. And it's just a little bit, just lightly. That'll just make sure that the paneer has a little bit of that seasoning in it. I haven't experimented with this, and I really want to do this, but I want to go ahead and see if at this stage, if I added, I don't know, everything bagel mix, or za'atar, or herbs de Provence, or anything fun. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Mm-hmm. It would immediately become part of the paneer as I bind it and shape it and put it together. Okay?
A few questions. Jennifer, this will be recorded. You can look at it on IGTV starting later today. Someone asked if they use lemon juice.
Yes. Lemon, any kind of acid, lemon juice, lime juice, vinegar, or even yogurt.
And same measurement?
For lemon juice and lime juice, the measurement would be roughly the same. And here's the cool thing. Start with a 1/4 cup, and if it's curdling, great. If it's not curdling, add a little bit more. So start with less and see how it goes. I mean, if anything, I'd start with 3 tablespoons and then build up from there. Yogurt is a different ratio. And if people want, when I put the recipe on this, if you want to do with yogurt, what to do. Do with yogurt definitely makes the paneer even creamier and richer. But this is so quick and easy, and you get a product that's 90% amazing. Mm-hmm. Just do it that way. You're not going to notice a difference between this paneer and paneer made with yogurt, at least unless you really are a paneer connoisseur, like, of course, our good friend Vishwat. Okay, next 2 things. A strainer, fine mesh strainer. The finer the mesh, the less of the curds you'll lose and the more you'll keep in here. Do not do this through a colander, it'll go right through. If you don't have a fine mesh strainer and have a colander, for example, so the one with the big holes in it, that's fine too. Use a cloth. They say use a cheesecloth, but any kind of cloth that's linen-y and not too thick knit or not too tight of a weave will do. This is just a kitchen cloth, and you can lay that in the colander and pour the paneer through there, and that'll work just perfectly fine. Awesome. So for today, we're going to use the colander.
Vish uses buttermilk. You are a true Southerner.
You are a true Southerner, Vish. Absolutely. Forgot. Of course, buttermilk too. But But I will leave that to Bish. All right, Molly, come on over.
Okay.
And we'll show the good people how we do this. So, colander, lay the cloth inside, and pour it in.
Jess says,
The more you pour.
since it's so hot, wouldn't the flavors get muted? I guess if you added spice.
Maybe, that's why I said I haven't played with it yet.
Okay.
I haven't tried it personally myself, but I imagine that with a little bit of trial and error, we could probably come up with something awesome.
Someone said, what do you do with the whey?
Okay, so here I'm just dumping the whey away.
You like that one,
I like that one. We're getting rid of the whey. But you can save the whey, and whey, it can be used for cooking. Whey can be used as a starter for the next batch of paneer, because there will be some acidity in there. Vish, help me out. What can somebody do with some whey? Other than fermenting? I mean, you can use whey as sort of a lactic fermentation liquid. And someone like Vish will probably have great ideas.
He says add spice to the milk, but I think that was for the previous question.
To the milk. Okay. So, it's hot because I just drained the water out, but essentially...
Make dal.
Make dal?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So there's lots of good things can be done with whey. I'm sure if you Googled it, it's a wonderful liquid to hang on to and use for a variety of stuff. So I'm just going to let this drain for a second. And then I'm going to just pour it out into basically a mold. I mean, I'm just using a little small mini Tupperware Pyrex. You can use a round, you can use a regular bowl. That's if you want a shape. If you don't want a shape and you just want it to be as a ball, well, that's fine. Just keep it in there until it cools. Some people like the idea of putting weight on this to press it so that more of the water comes out. I used to do that, and then I found that actually if I just let gravity strain it, and when I put it in here, that it works just equally as well. Here's the cool thing about paneer. Once the water comes out of it, even if it's sitting in a puddle of water, it does not reabsorb the water. So it's not like a sponge, which is what people think. That's why I gotta squeeze the water out of it. It isn't. And a little bit of water being left in there, I just think will make the paneer just a little bit softer, easier to cut, a little bit more moist, so that you don't end up with this hard, dry brick of paneer like you usually see when you do it in a commercial store.
Okay.
Okay, so...
Laura, yes. Laura Candler says you can feed the whey to your pig.
Well, if you happen to have a pet pig around the house, that sounds like a fantastic idea. All right, we're done. I'm just going to unpack my paneer into this. Ooh, hot, hot, hot. You can let this cool down, obviously. I'm just doing this while it's hot so that I can show you guys what the finished product looks like. I think we got it all out. Yuppie, yuppie, yuppie. Okay. Got it all out. Shake it out. And at this point now, if I did want to shape it a little bit more and put a little bit of pressure on it, let's use the same cloth that we had here for a second. Squeeze that extra water out of it. Fold it up. Don't worry about it too much. Lay it on top and press down to get the shape you want. And if you want it to really sort of become tightly packed, more than I have right now, then yes, you can put some weight on it. Just anything with weight on it too. I don't know. Oh! While we're waiting for that, Molly wanted me to remember to talk to you guys about one of the initiatives that Spicewalla is supporting this month. Every as often as we can, actually, not just every now and then, but as often as we can, Spicewalla partners with an organization that I believe in, that we believe in, and an organization that's doing real impact work, usually on the front lines, usually behind the scenes, usually without a whole lot of press and noise and glory coming to them. But the organization who's supporting this month, because it's Pride Month, is the Campaign for Southern Equality. Molly, since you helped lead this initiative, you want to tell our viewers what the Campaign for Southern Equality is?
Yes. So they are based here in Asheville, and their work is rooted in building a South where LGBTQ people are equal in every part of life. And they believe in a South where your zip code doesn't determine your rights, and where all of us are free to be who we truly are and love who we truly love. And you guys can learn more about their awesome work at southernequality.org.
So to support them, we've got two special items that we've created just for Pride Month. One is our Pride Tote by Spicewalla, if you guys can see.
So
the tins are so colorful and so cool. And the second is our Pride Month themed kitchen essentials. So most of you guys have probably already heard or bought these kitchen essentials in the past. Thank you, Oprah Winfrey. But if you haven't gotten one of these yet for Christmas and you've been living under a rock for the last 6 months and you want to get one of these and support your favorite, support one of our favorite organizations that we believe is doing amazing work, please go online and get yourself a kitchen essentials kit. Should we show them what's inside, Molly?
Sure.
And then,
Yeah.
well, I'll open the box then.
I have another sticker.
Then we can open it up. Let's show them how cool it looks inside the box. So for those of you that haven't seen what our 18-pack looks like, look at how cute that is.
Love
Oh my
it.
God, that is so pretty. That is just
Do a
beautiful.
close
So this
up
is the
here.
famous 18-pack, but we've redone all the colors in honor of Pride Month, and I would be definitely proud to have this in my kitchen pantry. So, and 100% of the proceeds of, let's see, what do we have? The tote, or the, yes, go towards, to the campaign, and 50% of the proceeds of this go to the campaign for Southern Equality. So, not only are you giving your kitchen pantry game a major facelift, but you're also supporting a great cause. All right. And I don't usually pitch stuff on the show, guys, but the reason I'm talking about this is because I really want to support this organization. So thanks, you guys. And what else is there to talk about, Molly? I think that's it. Oh, let's see how Paneer's doing.
Oh, yeah.
I'll bring it over
Okay.
for viewing. All righty. And there you have it. It's a little crumbly still because I haven't quite pressed it. But once you stick it in the refrigerator, let me bring out a block that I made yesterday. Once it cools, and you put it in the refrigerator, you have a block of paneer like that. And if you guys are trying to make saag paneer and you want those wonderful cubes of cheese in your saag paneer, there you have it.
And we have a Saag Paneer recipe on our IGTV, guys.
There's some cubes. You know, it's fairly tightly packed, as you can see, but it's still wonderfully soft and squishy and just tastes marvelous. It's just, you know, I mean, we call it a cheese, but obviously there's no lactation or fermentation effect in here. It's more like making a ricotta. It's like a really fresh cheese, almost like a mozzarella, our equivalent of, and kind of like a ricotta or mozzarella. It's meant to be an ingredient in cooking a lot of other things. You can make paneer pakoras, paneer tikka, grill, fry it, put it in saag. There's a million things you can do with paneer. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's Chai Time Quickie. Yeah, we got this done in 18 minutes.
Yeah, pretty good.
The idea is 15 minutes. I took 2 minutes extra because of Vish, you know, hassling me like he always does. But no, seriously, we're gonna try to keep these quickies in 15 minutes every Wednesday at 4:30, and
We'll have the recipe online.
And we'll have the recipe online. And the idea here is to help you guys start learning how to make some of these very foundational things like ginger garlic paste, chutneys, pickles, paneer, etc.
Vish is sorry.
Vish,
We wouldn't do this if it weren't for you.
exactly. The whole reason I do the show is to give you something to do in the afternoon. All right, friends. Hope you guys are all staying safe, staying well. I'll see you guys on Saturday where we'll be cooking another Chai Pani classic. Thanks. Love you all. Bye.